it still works. When it comes to energy work, healing touch, and all the things, all of the electromagnetic healing therapies that they lied about, this one right here, acupuncture and acupressure, was the main one that even when they lied, people noticed a physical change. Therefore, it was a lot harder to lie about it. Well, that's because the Chinese meridians, as they call them, that's your veins and arteries. Now, if I have to make a kinetic change in your bloodstream, I need somewhere where there's actual catalytic motion. That's your bloodstream. So the oldest telemetry on the planet, holding it right here in my hand, Chinese medicine. Yeah, it's right behind me on the wall. It's your chakra system, right there. Now, that system is the telemetry that lets them shoot a signal into you. And we have a new warfare. It's called electromagnetic drone, D-R-O-N-E warfare. Nobody told you that you have an invisible wireless body part? Because the man that would have, his name was Barnaby Jack. He's known in the hacking community as the Jackpotter. He put an ATM on a Las Vegas stage and made it spit money. No one believed that was possible. His next feat in Las Vegas DEF CON in 2013 would have been to explain to people that the human body was more hackable than a car, even back then with a lack of software. And he died from opiates in his bed the morning before he was set to tell anybody. What happened to all those discussions about the pacemakers and the problems? Well, see, Barnaby Jack in 2013 was unlike Dr. Carrie Majay. Her job, when she was offered the same thing as a piezoelectricity bone doctor, knowledgeable in the new electromagnetic powering of 6G low-pan for the smart grid. Jack would have never played ball with Baal's balls and said, yeah, let's hook everybody up without their knowledge. Because that's what they fucking did. They didn't ask you. They know that you're wireless and you don't. So they connected everything. To what? The same cloud that this connects to. So when I tell you there's an app for you right now, it gets worse. Last year, Amazon made mesh networking available to everything. All we need it for deliveries. But in the same time period, the Artificial Intelligence Symposium of the Department of Defense was over here on page 1. Autonomous weapons statement. Lethal autonomous weapons. What? Yeah, drones that can kill you. They got a quarter-size CMOS chip on them that's preloaded. That's so a striker unit cannot use its security to throw up a computer network and steal the codes and prevent a kill. So the same men who want results and work in our military are the same men who sold us out, lied to everybody for years, decades, a very long time, and used something called wireless sensor networks. So, the fundamental problem that we really have, before I get into helping people understand, because this is about technology. Well, you're just holding up a book. Okay, you need to do the thinking on your own now and stop making me work so fucking hard that I've got to go get a whiteboard to help you understand that you've been wired to the cloud, and they created an engineering interface, meaning that they took the chakras, okay, and they wired them. All these chakras are wired to these little stars on the body that I post here, and they're called nodes, so they're a little N. Then they have these big things, I got to get a different color so you can understand, that over top of your heart is something called a radio frequency sink. And what that does is it collects signals and makes them stronger. So there's one in your pelvis, military idiots, and one in the front over your heart. But hey, military morons. Sabrina, this is why no one listens. Because I am not going to step off these people that have enslaved us in such a way that once I do finally get the good humans of the world to be like, you mean like, wait a minute, like, can I try to understand you, crazy woman, because you won't shut up? Yeah, I'm not shutting up. It's not going to happen. This is worse than Egypt. You want to spray a nanopolymer on a polygon and have it grab up my skin or try to, that's one thing. But this is totally different. But you're so upset. You're going to be way more pissed than me. Trust me. I know how to use my body part. I can hear things coming. I do it all the time and teach people how to use their body part. You don't even know you have one yet. So here's some magnets. I would never take these magnets, put super glue on them, and put them on my fingernails. Why? Well, because then if I use Gorilla Glue to do that, it's going to tear my nail off. Duh. So I make teeny tiny little electromagnetic fields back in 2005. 2005, we have 802.15.4. Okay? That is the IEEE standard for routing data through human tissue. Zigbee and Bluetooth. Well, gosh, it looks exactly like that, doesn't it? Look at the little symbols. Yeah. Math going back and forth. Signals between human brains. You mean human biofields, the electromagnetic fields of humans? To do what? To watch their empathy, telepathy, precognition, and telekinetics, because we wirelessly tissue engineer to make sure that none of that's happening for you. That belongs to the military, too. Show me your invisible body part, please. I don't want to be standing here while you're thinking that, I'm just making shit up. And besides that, yeah, January 30th, 1994. Push your hair follicles down, take in a deep breath. I'm a free-range human, permanently disabled by this stupid government. And I would love for them to stay, but there's no getting around this. Nothing is going to help us interdimensionally until we deal with this problem we've made for ourselves, and no one is saying biofield. It's not in the technical writing. Now, dude, less than 100 people on the planet, no joke. I know there's 7 billion. That's a tiny number. Right. So those are the people reading into the depths of binomial algorithm technical writing. Hi. Because of what's happening to me and how deeply hidden this surveillance is. Down to your bone marrow, using nano satellite. Show me your biofield, and then we're going to talk about BAE systems, and we're going right back over here to 802.15.4. Deep breath in. Pardon me. Okay, so if I have two magnets and I am unable to pull them apart, what do? The magnetic field is too strong between these two magnets. I would never super glue them to my fingers because I would never install magnets onto my fingernails, especially if I had no way to pull them apart. Okay? So here's what the brilliant military morons have done. They took the human body part known as the biofield that no one believes in and they don't know it exists, and they don't allow the doctors at regular hospitals to talk about it. They only use it on the back end with their MRI and CT. Then they use special software with a dude named a radiologist who reads that molecular composition the way he is told or taught. So he doesn't really know what he's looking at because he's not taught what to look for. So we have an invisible body part with a bunch of software and people who do what they're told, which is what? IEEE Engineering Standards 802.15.4. What does that do? Well, it puts permanent biosensors into your biofield since 2005. And that's the part of things I'm trying to get people to understand, because last I checked, that'll be 20 years ago, 3 years from now. That's also when they've got geoengineering finished up. So letting the Twitter twits believe the world's going to end and that we don't have databases that control the weather that you can read about in the Library of Congress. No, you keep letting them think it's a conspiracy theorist problem. It's a congressional issue. And when you let NASA tell people in 2018 or 19, whichever it was, that they couldn't find the tapes to go back to the moon on the YouTube, and they're still showing us pictures, Adobe Photoshop, of deep space. And here's why. Remember what I just said about BAE Systems? This all goes together. BAE Systems is a company. B as in boy, A as in apple, E as in elephant. You can find it on my Facebook or look it up. They used to have, since the 1950s, only 50 employees. Excuse me, less than 500 employees. That's what it is. That's a security protocol. Now they have 60,500 employees for the first time since the 50s. The same time that Amazing Polly mentioned it's been an open secret. What has? Crimson Tide? Spraying people with frequencies and doing what you're going to do? Well, that's what my great uncle did in 1953. No, Sabrina, no. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Breathing in the different types of organisms. So all of this surveillance and screwing with you is built off of genetic modification. I warned you. I said wireless tissue engineering. Now Bielik and his map are back out there again. And I warned you. I said in 2002, AT&T, the different clouds they're going to put up. And what does it say here on the bottom? Children of light grid, nodes, airlines, people and humans, intent casting, frequency grids. Oh, but I'm just a stupid energy worker using my free-range human body part away from them. So they had to send physical people to come fuck up my life. Because I was using my own body part by myself. What a crime. Ask anybody who's ever been that fake thing called a targeted individual, like that fake thing called the Havana syndrome. Let me show you what else is fake before I get back to the BAE systems stuff. Because I've been trying to make science to help people understand, because they really don't. They're so far away from reality of like how our systems, businesses, taxes, all of it, how it all functions. So, fake pain is fibromyalgia, then it's fake pseudotumors, then it's fake lupus, then it's fake cancer, and now it's fake adult death syndrome and fake stroke. All right, that's not possible. Just like it's not possible that nobody knew they were lying on the MRI and the CT all this time. No, they knew they were lying. That's why BAE Systems is a satellite company, one of the biggest that supports everything that we have militarily at the Space Force level. Yeah, that's BAE Systems. Less than 500 employees until when? From 1950 until last year. Absorbed a company of 60,000 employees. What was their job and purpose? Well, they've spent the last 5 or 6 years usurping all the topology of every surface of every country's military. Of every country's military on the planet, yes. And now BAE Systems owns them. So every single country on the planet had their military, meaning that they gave all their secret locale, to this company who now watches it. So then you say, okay, well then it must be surveillance. Right, and it's using your biofield. So we have something called wireless sensor networks. And we use those teeny tiny sensors. And the problem is with the Twitter twits and the rest, it's always the same. Well, we only do it for good. That's not how tools work. And this is engineering. So I'd like you to grow up a bit, clean up your mind and your maturity. Thank you. Okay, so then we go back up here in 2005. We're routing computer data through human tissue. That's going to make you swell because your body's going to overheat because it's using your red blood cells for something that your red blood cells are simply not made for. Okay, so what they did is they started using routing protocols and writing them like cicada. And I'm going to have to refresh my memory on some of the other ones. But in order to do any of what I'm telling you, they had to have permanent little magnetic fields that they could get back and forth to with a guarantee, meaning that you could change out your local hub, router, whatever it was physically in your house. It doesn't matter. These are still in you. Permanent lifetime biosensors. Permanent magnets fixed inside of you right now. Because it's a body part. Now, if you can't feel that body part, well then you don't know. No harm, no foul. Until someone else taps into these. Now all of a sudden you're having all sorts of symptoms and problems of what? Well, I'll tell you what, it isn't going to be subtle. Nope, not with what they've got going on, which is what? Routing digital IDs. I got to get through a geofence with my ass. This is my fucking body. And the new electromagnetic warfare is generated how again? Electromagnetically. Okay, but I'm not electromagnetic. Yeah, actually 80% of your body is water, and 80% of your immune system is in your biofield, and 40 to 60% of your emotions, your endocrine system, your hormones. Yeah, then there's the gut-brain axis. Oh yeah, we just figured it out. No, they hid it for 150 years to offer you electroceuticals, the metaverse, the Internet of Things. So one more time. In order to offer you all of those things, they have to have a way to check their data, a parity check back and forth. Those are the permanent magnets fixed in your invisible body part. Permanent magnets fixed permanently. Lifetime biosensor, 802.15.4. Lifetime, permanently fixed inside your invisible body part, and you have no access. None. Now, if I want to spoof the digital ID and move back and forth, between people, or excuse me, between geofences and do it without dying, I need a way to hack that digital ID in my own body. Oh, but we're not in the human tissue. Yes, we are. I just showed you 802.15.4. And then it's up to you to click on the link here on my Odyssey and go read for yourself. This is engineering. They tested it on childrensynergy.com. That's me. Hi. That's how I know. And they had 2 control groups, probably more, but I was of the group that wasn't wired because I had a seraphim come and rescue me when I was little. Okay. So, again, I'm not crazy. I'm sorry. I really am. If I were crazy, life would be a lot easier.